Should you play with your flute absolutely level, parallel to the floor, or should you play it at an angle? And how come they do and they don't? Okay, well the answer is it absolutely has to be directed by your sound and your body. But let me talk you through some of the pitfalls and make sure that you're not falling into one way just because of fatigue or perhaps laziness. So one of the first things that can happen that I see is that people just tilt their head to the side, and that causes a kink in here. So obviously your airflow, your column of air is going to struggle a little bit more to get out. And why would you put something in the way of that? We know that if there's a kink in your garden hose, there's a problem with the flow. So better to have this absolutely level so that the airflow has no restrictions. The other thing is that that has the tendency to cause you pain, and over a long period of time, possibly injury. So be very, very careful that you have got your head set this way. The exception to that, of course, is if you have a physical difference that means that you can't keep your head here or this causes you a problem. The second thing that I see is that your head is straight, but actually your spine tilts that way. So this isn't a problem with the blowing out, this is a real problem with the getting the air in, because as soon as we do that, we're restricting how the air can go down into the lungs. And why wouldn't we want to use our lungs capacity? So if you move this way, when you take your breath in, one side doesn't manage to take quite as much air in as it might do. And of course the other thing is if your spine is not straight, it's going to cause you pain and potentially long-term injury as well. So we all know that we're all told to sit up, keep your spine straight, keep your neck straight, unless of course you've got a physical difference or a challenge that's not possible for you. The next one's a wee bit more complicated, and this is just to do with the angle of your mouth versus your flute. So what I would say here is you want the angle of the flute to absolutely mirror the angle of your mouth. So if your mouth is totally straight, your flute should be totally straight, and this gives you the first and best chance of finding your sound. However, if you have a slight teardrop lip in your top lip, you will find that you'll play slightly out to the side, and you might find that the muscles have developed and it's better for you to have a small dip in your flute here. The other thing is if you have issues with your teeth or missing teeth or particular teeth shape, that your flute won't sit straight on your face, and then you would just adapt for comfort, and the muscles would develop with that. If you haven't got any of these issues, I really feel it's best to strengthen the muscles in the early stages with as good a setup as possible. If you're just opting to do this, then your muscles are going to strengthen slightly differently than they would do if your flute was straight. So how do you know with this one which angle is best for you? Well, I would just say be led by your sound. Okay, your sound will tell you, but don't forget there's another angle to consider. So whilst we have this angle, whatever it may be, or this, we also have the forwards and back angle as well. So make sure that you've got the best contact with your lower lip for your flute playing. And if you're not pulling this forward, you're not creating a gap at this side too. You'll be able to hear the difference. We're all about air efficiency. So if you've got the angle slightly wrong, it's likely that you're losing air. And why would you want to do that? Whatever you do, make sure that the angle that you're choosing to play at doesn't create your problem and that your elbows aren't overextending or underextending. You need to consider the whole body when you're setting up your flute. So your elbows should be weighty and just supporting the weight of the flute and not creating tension anywhere. So taking into account your own differences, your own physical challenges, find the best place for you. Now back to the question as to how come they get to play with a squint flute. Well, the difference is they've probably done their 10,000 hours and they have spent many, many hours researching the best place for them to play. So once you've done your 10,000 hours and once you're absolutely clear that your practice is in place and you've got the best angle, go for it. Do what you like. If this video has helped you in any way, please like and subscribe or leave me any comments down below and I'll get back to them as soon as I can.